Alldus podcast is brought to you by Alldus International, supplying your expert AI and digital transformation staffing needs across the US and Europe. Today, you are listening to our AI in Action series, where leading minds in AI from across the world share their story, success, and advice. AI in Action cuts through the hype and explores the true impact of artificial intelligence in our world today.
You're listening to AI in Action. I'm your host, JP Valentine. Our guest today is Christian Ferreira. Christian is the co-founder and CEO at PSci.AI. Christian, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks guys. Appreciate having me here.
So Christian, let's start with yourself, please, as we do with all of our guests. Could you give us an overview of your background in technology, from where you got started, some of the roles you've held along the way, and what's led you to where you are today as the founder and CEO at PSci.AI?
My background's pretty straightforward. Leads into why I started Procurement Sciences, but right out of high school, I joined the United States Marine Corps. I did 4 years in the Marine Corps, a couple tours overseas, got a lot of background in leadership very quickly. And then I got into technology. So when I got out of the Marine Corps, I got right into government contracting. And my first role was as a software engineer. So I was a software engineer for about 3.5 years. Building government agency systems from the ground up. Learned a lot about software engineering. I got my first degree in computer science, but then I realized that my real passion was actually working with customers and interacting directly with these different agencies to learn about their pain points and then build solutions. So I did get my first degree in computer science, but then I went back to school, decided to pursue a second degree, which was in business management. So with that, I got my second degree and decided to make the switch from being a software engineer into being what's called a solutions architect. My role quickly became actually interacting with these government agencies, learning about their pain points, responding to government proposals, and ultimately helping big government contractors win new deals with the government. So did that for a while. I helped my company win a lot of big deals. But then ultimately I decided I want to move into management, and I got a role as a director of business strategy. So at this point, I took the level up where I was still working at winning new government deals, working with proposal teams and business development teams. But again, one level higher where I was not only managing them, but I was also pursuing, the business strategy aspect, which was what deals we need to go after, what deals we need to defend. Pretty much what happened was I learned all of the pain points of government contracting, both from the trenches at the individual contributor level, all the way up into the senior level of management. I had just finished my master's degree in innovation entrepreneurship. I had also been investing pretty heavily in real estate. So all the stars aligned as far as generative AI popping up, bringing a whole new type of power to the entire world. Also having some passive income streams that could support deferring my director's compensation. And that's where I actually decided to start Procurement Sciences. So to go back into government contracting, take the latest and greatest technology and apply it to those biggest, longest standing pain points.
Thank you for that, Christian. So let's stay exactly on that topic, the origins of PSci.AI. So you obviously, with your background, you saw a problem that could be solved. So talk to us about how you think AI can help solve this problem. But I think first, let's define the problem in a bit more detail so our audience knows just how challenging it is for these government contractors and procurement to make these decisions. And then how PSci.AI can help make things a hell of a lot easier for the end users.
So government contracting, for anyone who's never worked in that industry, notoriously very difficult to win a government contract. So to win business with a government agency, typically your win rate is only about 20%. So 1 out of 5 proposals that you submit will actually be selected as a winning proposal. Typically to respond to the proposal can be anywhere from 4 weeks to 12 weeks of 1 to 5 people just full-time trying to respond to hundreds and hundreds of requirements and meet the compliance guidelines, the regulations. So government contracting to win a deal is extremely labor intensive. It's very much a manual process. So that's really where we decided to come in. We saw the wave of generative AI. We saw what it could do, its ability to take a huge amount of unstructured data and instantly extract insights from it. So when we started out, we decided to automate one of the biggest pain points in government contracting, which was the proposal process. We started by ultimately using generative AI to understand the company's background, understand the requirements, the solicitation, and then use the previous information, the previous company data, to actually build new responses in their tones and their styles. That was the first thing we wedged into the market with. And because it was bringing such like a quantum leap forward, we got a lot of traction very quickly. And then we kept expanding horizontally into all the other long-standing pain points that existed in this industry, but traditional technology could not automate. So very quickly, we just kept expanding based on customer feedback as far as what were those other biggest bottlenecks they had, how could we apply generative AI to it to ultimately give them this new quantum leap forward, this new kind of huge competitive advantage.
So I want to talk about the build in a moment, but staying on the topic of the problem solving aspect, are there any examples that you could share with us where you brought PSci.AI's solutions to your customer or potential customers? Obviously, you would have had a network of early prospects given your career to date. Can you walk us through the conversation from here's the problem as we see it, here's what PSci.AI can do, here's how Gen I helps us do it for you, and then what comes out the other side? Are there any recent examples that you are particularly proud of or excited about that best demonstrate the impact that PSci.AI can have for the customers?
So the impact's very interesting. It's like a double-edged sword, and both sides of the sword are great for a customer. So one side is increasing revenue, so helping these customers win more deals, so increase their top bottom line revenue. The other side is the operational efficiency, so actually time cost savings, allowing them to get back all this wasted time and apply it to other missed opportunities. That double-edged sword is extremely powerful because arguably every single company is interested in both of those things, which is increasing their revenue and also increasing their operational cost savings. But ultimately, some of the big things we saw was these different processes that used to take customers 3 to 4 weeks to perform. We were now helping them perform that in 3 to 4 hours. So just absolutely massive 90% plus cost savings, time savings that we were able to achieve with these different generative AI workflows. So I would say that's the biggest thing that they see is one, generative AI brings like a whole new type of power and like tool set to these companies, but ultimately revolutionizing them with a new type of competitive advantage, which was around those efficiency gains, allowing them to do more with less and ultimately unlocking those bottlenecks they used to always face.
So going back to the other point I mentioned, talk to us about the build of the platform, the product itself, what was involved. Obviously, you yourself come from an engineering background, but you've also had the customer facing experience of winning business. So as the founder and CEO, you're able to straddle both sides, but you clearly can't do it all by yourself. So walk us through the journey from when you launched the business to where you are today. What has been involved? Who else has been on the journey with you? And how did you build the platform from first iteration to its current functionality?
It's been a constant iterative process. So like when we came out, it was like the very early days of generative AI. So we did take a lot of guesses, a lot of assumptions as far as where we thought AI would move. Some of those were very on point and some of those were wrong, right? So we learned a lot as we go. I think any generative AI company can attest to this, which is we're all making gambles of what we think the future of AI is going to look like. So this entire process has been watching industry trends, doing a lot of research as far as what everyone is betting on as like the next big breakthroughs in generative AI, and then preparing our platform for that. So one thing we pride ourselves in is being at the tip of the spear, pioneering this new wave of AI, and ultimately getting that in front of our customers' hands as quickly as possible. As soon as a new breakthrough pops out, how quickly can we apply this specifically to our industry's pain points and then get it into their hands so they're constantly ahead of the curve? And then as far as our team, so our team's very unique because just about everyone on our team is a former government contractor. So we all have very deep insights as far as what the industry is dealing with. The pain points that we're helping these customers solve are the same pain points the majority of our team dealt with in the trenches firsthand. Now, the other part of our team is the mixture of the technological experts, the AI experts that come in and actually bring that nice, unique kind of aspect to this industry, which is they're learning about these pain points, but they also know how we can take this type of technology and really revolutionize those pain points.
You are listening to the Alldus podcast. When you're looking to scale your team, or if you are interested in showcasing your company in a future episode, reach out today. Or if you're in the market for a new role, visit our website to view open positions, www.alldus.com.
So, Christian, I want to spend a bit of time just talking about the size and scale of the opportunity in this sector, because as you know, and as I'm familiar with myself, the level of investment in AI, particularly Gen AI, within the public sector and the surrounding industry is quite considerable. Given your knowledge and the fact that you've decided to focus PSci.AI on this particular vertical, talk to us about where you see the growth opportunity for not just Gen AI applications, but for PSci.AI, both from a product demand, but then also growth of the business and how that will translate to more need for AI talent to join you on this mission.
The way we look at this, and our customers see this as well, is generative AI is going to be table stakes to compete. It's going to be in just about every single industry, but especially in government contracting because of how much efficiency and how much insight they can bring to these customers. So everyone we work with, they realize that in 2 to 3 years, every single company will be likely using generative AI. The ones that resist it or don't adopt it, they're going to be left behind very quickly. So that's one big trend we are seeing. That's, again, going back to the gambles, which we fully believe that within 2 to 3 years, generative AI will be part of every single person, every single company's stack as far as what they're learning, what they're using. Now, something else that's unique about our company is that we were not a traditional software that added the AI suffix to our name and tried to shoehorn AI into the top. What we've learned is a lot of the legacy incumbents who are trying to do that, it's very difficult for them to shoehorn AI onto their existing products because it begins to cannibalize everything they've built before. For us, it's the complete opposite, where our system is designed from the ground up around generative AI. So every single thing that we do, AI can flow into all the different features, all the different actions. We can truly build like a new type of user experience, which is a generative AI first experience, where the AI is like their true assistant for every single part of the flow they go through. So that has been very unique to us. It's allowed us to move extremely quickly because, again, trying to add AI to the top of your existing product and push it down, there's a lot of back pressure. Versus for us, building from the foundational level up around generative AI gives us actually a lot of tailwinds and a lot of forward momentum to build very quickly and really do things that before people just dreamed about, but now we can actually make them a reality.
So staying on the topic of growth, when you look at the near-term roadmap for PSci.AI, what are some of the things that you're most excited about for the next chapter of the business? What are some of the milestones you're working towards? And when we speak again in maybe 1 to 2 years from now, when you look back from that point, what will you hope to have accomplished?
Yeah, great question. So for us, again, it comes back to those gambles. And during the first year of our product launch, we had huge success, lots of great customer feedback, really got a lot of market share very quickly. But what we did is, again, we made a lot of assumptions, which we believed would be accurate in the future. And some of those panned out and are very accurate and have really hit the nail on the head. And then others just were assumptions that didn't pan out, right? So what we just did is we decided to do a rebuild of our platform, pretty much took all of our learnings, all of our insights of how customers were adopting AI, how they were using AI, the strengths, the weaknesses, and then we rebuilt the platform from the ground up. By doing that, we also focused on a new type of architecture, which we're very bullish on for the future, where we believe AI is going, which is like the future of AGI. So by rebuilding the platform, it put us on a new playing field, which again puts our tech stack at the absolute tip of the spear as far as all the latest and greatest breakthroughs in AI. But then again, is going to allow us to have this huge tailwind, which is really going to accelerate us forward and really make our artificial intelligence stand out and truly learn so much about the industry that it is unstoppable as far as being a competitive advantage.
A final question for me, Christian. When you're speaking to candidates about PSci.AI for potential jobs that you're trying to hire for, what is it that you tell them about PSci.AI, the company, the mission, the environment, that gets these individuals excited enough to join you guys over some of the other great companies also trying to hire in this space?
It kind of comes back down to what I was just mentioning, which is our platform. We're not just calling ourselves an AI company. We are a true generative AI company built from the foundational level up. Innovation is very key for all of us. Again, most of us come from government contracting backgrounds, but we really rely on those generative AI experts coming from the other industries to come in and look at these problems from a completely different aspect, right? So for us, innovation, constant development, constant prototyping of new types of technology, testing the different types of things we're learning from our users, applying those very quickly, and again, making those gambles, which is what does the future of AI look like? What is, when AGI comes out in the next couple of years, potentially, what is that going to look like at the general level? What's it also going to look like at the industry specific or the vertical level? So for us, it's all about just being at the tip of the spear, taking this new type of technology, and generative AI truly is a new wave of technology, and learning how to really manipulate that and just do things that before used to be fantasy, but now can be reality.
Christian, thank you so much for coming on today and talking to us. It was great to learn about your background, your journey from military to software engineer to then customer facing, all of which is now fed into the launch of PSci.AI, an incredible example of how Gen AI can impact and disrupt an industry for the good. A lot of growth in this sector, I know personally from the work we do with many of the government contractors. So I'm excited to see what PSci.AI can accomplish in the months and years to come. We wish you guys the very best of luck and look forward to having you back on the show again in the near future.
Awesome. It was great, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Alldus podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any Android podcast of choice. You can also head over to our website, www.alldus.com, to listen to more podcasts, view our open roles, and stay up to date with industry news. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more great episodes coming very soon.